Hello, everyone. Let me start by saying a happy Women's Month to all the incredible women. My name is Mpoomy Ledwaba, and I'm a proud mom and ambassador of Medshield Mom. Today, I want to speak about a topic that we seldom talk about, but I think I'm realizing a lot in my community that it's starting to come up. Our habits with the digital world, our habits with technology. Obviously, technology not only affects us, but it affects our children. We do know that our children are coming in contact with technology, iPad, and phones way sooner than we would have loved to, and way sooner than we actually interacted with technology. But we, as mothers and parents, can model better etiquette on how to use our digital devices. Firstly, I think it's important to mention that there's no perfect way of doing this, but we can make effort and be intentional about modeling better habits on how to use our digital devices. Firstly, boundaries. You've probably heard me speak about boundaries a lot of times. Boundaries with myself, with my kids, with my environment. But we also need to set boundaries with our technology usage, with our phones and our television. What I realized when I was on holiday is that my phone usage was so much lower. I checked my screen time and I realized this is because of actually being so active and I was mindful of being present in the moment. So what I've done now that I'm back at work and I work a lot on my phone and my laptop, I have started setting limits on how long I can actually use certain apps. So it's important to model that for our children, that just because you can use something does not mean you should overuse it. It's also important to mention that by us consistently modeling these habits, these boundaries, we are saying to our kids, we are enforcing to our kids that this is the way to do things. We cannot contradict ourselves by saying to the kids, less TV, whilst we are on our screens. So there's an idea that I haven't done yet where I actually wanted to start putting a basket at the door when visitors come, everybody drops their phone. I'm not there yet. However, we do have a rule where on the dinner table, while we're having supper, while we're making breakfast as a family, we cannot have any phones. Luckily, my kids aren't using iPads yet. But for us as adults, it's so easy to disregard and disrespect our children with our phones and our devices that we're constantly checking our phones. So we have a no tech zone on our dinner table, and we're slowly introducing a no tech zone in our bedroom. This mostly applies to my husband and I, but I think it's a great way to slowly detach from our need to constantly be on our phones and constantly be on our laptops. And number three, I believe in encouraging outdoor activities. My kids are currently on holiday, and we have set a time of how much TV they can watch, which is an hour a day. They can split it up into 30 minutes or they can use the hour at one go. But their day is filled with activities. We got some water balloons, we got their bicycles, we've got a trampoline, we've got some hockey sticks. So the day is filled with different activities. And later in the evenings, I always take a nice 30-40 minute walk with the kids. On Saturday mornings, we can take them even hiking. And when we're all outdoors, you actually realize that there is no need to be in front of the TV. There's no need to constantly be on our devices. We are connected as a family. We are doing something that we all enjoy, and we get to experience a healthier lifestyle. What I do know is that this is easier said than done. And although I have tried to implement these things, we don't always get it right. But another thing that is important is actually having an etiquette conversation with our children. I've mentioned that my kids have been asking about getting iPads because their friends have iPads, but as a family, we're not yet ready. And it's important that we don't just say no, but to explain why. And part of the reasoning we give our kids is we want to connect more. You don't need technology yet. A time will come where you can be online, but we want to connect, we want to play, we want to interact. There's so much more to do outside of technology. So our reasoning may be different, but it's important to communicate and be honest with our children why it's so much better to have boundaries when it comes to our usage with iPads, televisions, or cell phones. And finally, I just want to have a quick word on social media. I have benefited greatly on social media, like many of us, but it is a double-edged sword. In as much as my business has grown there, I've connected with people I would have never connected with. I also realize that it can be a distraction in my personal life and even in my work, and also it can disconnect me from the people who are actually in front of me. So it's very important to take note of these things. Is social media actually adding a value in my life, or is it starting to disrupt my life and eat away at it? Some things that I put into practice is not having my phone when I'm in front of people that I love. This just shows a level of respect and a level of gratitude that I actually get to be with this person. And like I said, setting time limits. How long do I need to be scrolling? How long do I need to be on social media? Can I limit it to 30 minutes a day? So things like that are very important to pay attention to. I hope this conversation has been helpful. It's never from a place of judgment, but so much so a reflection, even for myself who works on social media, to make sure that there's boundaries, that I'm modeling the correct or the best behavior that I can for my children, and that we're having honest conversation. Do check out more videos for me where I share everything on motherhood on Medshield Mom. I'm Mpoomy Ledwaba, and I hope you keep well.